Holy crap, not clickbait. Donald Trump just got shot. There's blood on him. This is crazy. And video's probably going to get taken down here, but this is breaking news. He appears to be okay. He was seen walking away from the rally with his fist up in the air, and he did have blood on what it looks like was on his ear. This is a massive, massive Secret Service failure. I don't know what the hell happened here. This is a horrible, horrible moment. This is not the way to handle any kind of dislike for Trump, to shoot at a president. Holy crap, this is horrible. I'm gonna play this video. This is absolutely unbelievable. You're gonna hear the pop pop. You're gonna hear Trump like rub his ear or whatever. It looks like he either got grazed by shrapnel or something. This is absolutely insane. Watch this. Here we go. Ready? It happens pretty fast.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. Oh.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move. Move. Go.
Yeah, and then they cut the mic right here. So what happened is, right here you could see what looked like military, or probably it looks like a National Guard person with also some individuals in like SWAT gear. The Secret Service immediately jumped on Donald Trump when he's hit here. So you could watch that one more time. We're gonna go in a little slow motion here. Oh, it's right there. This is the moment. Hold on.
If you want to really see something that said.
Okay, ready? We're gonna go slow motion here. We're gonna play this back at half speed.
Take a look what happened. Oh.
Boom. Here. He ducks. Secret Service jumps on him. Multiple more shots. And then what you're gonna find after that, you're gonna see the SWAT-style officers hopping on the stage in just a moment. This is half speed right now, right? There, and you can hear their comms.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move. Move.
You had a whole sort of battalion of rifles hopping on there right after that happens. Now, if we fast forward a little bit, we're gonna be able to see Trump walk away to a car. He's got blood on him clearly. Here. Watch this. There he is. One sec. Here you go. He's got blood on his ear. He's clearly hit. He's been getting carried out by the Secret
Well, there you go,
Service right
guys.
now.
Unbelievable
crap.
information right now as we see President Trump being taken away from the podium there in Butler, Pennsylvania. We did hear some shots there. We don't know what it was that happened. You're looking at the same thing we're looking at right now. I was literally without the suit jacket, just watching the coverage. We heard the loud noises, and we are live right now on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Holy crap. It's absolutely crazy. This is an assault on democracy right here. This is effed up. This is really crazy. I'm just surprised that this can happen. This is, I mean, I know there are a lot of people here, but holy crap. I mean, I'm assuming somebody was able to sneak in from the sound of it, it sounds like some form of like maybe a 9mm pistol is what it sounded like. Obviously, it didn't sound like a rifle or anything heavy or heavily powered. but it's clearly, you know, a big deal here. Hold on. Look at that. So I'm shocked. I mean, look at this. You got multiple. What do we got here? We got what look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Secret Service agents around him here. You've got one Secret Service agent picking up what looks like, was Trump wearing his hat? Let me see. We're gonna go back and see if Trump was wearing his hat when he was giving his prez. He was. So his hat fell off, or he took his hat off. Whatever. Let's play it again, because this is just absolutely unbelievable.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He was wearing his hat there. Absolutely crazy. So it sounds like it was some form of, I mean, look at this. You've got people starting to lie down over here. Obviously, you know, if there's like a mass shooting or something like that. But it looks like this was specifically targeted at the president. And he was hit. He was definitely hit. I mean, he's bleeding. So, you know, obviously, you know, Trump appears to be okay. But let's show him off the stage here. There he is. He puts his hand up. Let me go back a little more. There we go. Look at that. That's crazy. Gosh,
Well,
what a
there you go,
scary
guys.
freaking world.
Unbelievable information right now as we see.
Yeah, this is really intense. So I think there's a later part here where we see Trump getting in his vehicle. Let's see it here, if we get an angle on this. Here, guardsmen, Secret Service.
Miles north of Pittsburgh, and we heard a number of pops. That's what I'll call them for now, pops. I mean, there could be firecrackers, or it could be something.
Those freaking firecrackers. This is insane. I'm pretty sure we see him go into... Okay, yeah, he's already in the car, presumably, at this point. I guess the rally's over.
I was very concerned when he was walking down the steps, not to be a dramatic...
Okay, it looks like we've now got mainstream covering this now, too. Look at that.
Survive this incident.
Oh, you can see him up on the stage with rifles scanning the audience. Oh, this is intense. What the hell?
I may have just said
Look at him on the stage looking around. You got one at the staircase. You got Secret Service at the bottom of the stage. What looks like a National Guards person just walked off the stage there. They're scanning. It doesn't look like they have any idea yet what's... Oh, this is to get Trump off. They're covering to get Trump off. There he is. There's the other shot of Trump. Holy shices. Oh my gosh, dude. This is really bad. Oh, he's pumping his fist right here, and I think that's what gets everyone to cheer.
Tonight. Kristen, these images that we're showing
oh my God.
Show the president to be conscious the former president to be conscious the entire time, shaking and waving his fist in the air, but there does seem to be blood emerging from his right ear, and possibly maybe some injury to the cheek.
Jose, that's right. The images are horrifying. The former president with his face bloodied. He's pumping his fists. He appears to be saying fight, fight, as he is ushered off stage by the Secret Service. The political world just starting to absorb what has unfolded in Pennsylvania with just days until the Republican National Convention gets underway. Let me read you some of the reactions so far. Our Kelly O'Donnell has reached out to the Secret Service saying they are still gathering information on this incident. So, of course, we will bring that to our viewers as soon as we get that. President Biden, for his part, was at church in Delaware. As he left, he was asked if he'd been briefed on this rally. He said no. He then got back into his motorcade. Undoubtedly, he will be briefed in the coming moments. J.D. Vance, of course, the senator from Ohio, who is a potential contender to be Trump's VP nominee, tweeting out, "Everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at that rally. I hope everyone is okay." Jose, we cannot overstate this. This will send shockwaves throughout the political world, throughout the country. As everyone absorbs what has happened. Again, the former president.
Look at this shot that Tucker Carlson posted. Here's a shot. Hold on a sec. Let's do it like this. There we go. This looks like a photograph that was taken. That's a pretty good picture. You could see pretty clearly here that it's Trump's ear that was hit, or the area around, maybe above his ear. It looks like a graze, frankly. So either, or you know, maybe the edge of his ear or something like that. That's close. That's really, really close. And you've got the Secret Service here, obviously, ushering him off stage. Wow.
Slides up on the screens here. As he was starting to get into that issue, we were getting off the press risers here. I'll just tell you from my personal experience, because we were in the middle of all of this as this all transpired. We were getting off of the press riser, getting to the ground level where all of the attendees are on the grass here at this venue. We heard at first what I thought might have been fireworks. I even saw a little bit of...
Wow, it's fully cleared out already.
...going on. My producer, Bianca, and I then realized this might be something more serious. We then got ourselves behind a barricade for safety, trying to make sure that our colleagues and our peers around us were safe. Everyone ducked down. As you see in that video, the former president ducked down. Secret Service came and protected him. People in the audience here, those who were attending, initial confusion, shock. Again, when you first hear those shots, you really do think this might be fireworks, just because this is not something that you are expecting when you're at an event like this. We get down on the ground, we hear those continued pop, 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 pops. They kept going. It felt like for a long time for those of us who were here on site. But as you said, listening to it back, it was about 8 to 11 or so of those popping sounds. As the scene started to quiet down, as we stopped hearing those sounds, the former president started to get up, his Secret Service escorting him off the stage. The crowd went from that initial shock, fear, to cheering for him as he stood up, and it was clear that he was not unconscious. But he,
you know what's oh god, this is so freaking crazy. You know, I remember back during the it was the rally before the insurrection, or J6 day, or whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't when people say that, you know, people get mad about what word is used. Okay, I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just saying that day, J6, right? They had glass barriers for Trump. This was back in on J6, and I think you get a zoomed out shot here. I think they're gonna go back to glass barriers. I remember I covered this. This was a 10-hour live stream that I covered, you know, way back on J6 21, and I want to see if I can get a zoomed out shot of it so you could get a little bit more of a look. But you could clearly see he's got his teleprompters here left and right, and then the glass barriers in front of him. I mean, this was obviously when he was the president, right? But I think now you're gonna have to go back to glass barriers, but because this is crazy, and it's really sad. It's really sad, but this is absolutely insane that something like this can happen. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the actual scene again so you could see when the shots first start, because I know some folks are just now joining, and you'll be able to get a live look at the time of what happened. This happened now about 26 minutes ago. Trump is injured, but okay. As you can see, this is the loop they keep playing here, is them sort of clearing the stage and trying to cover from the audience, or you know, see if there's any additional threat as they prepare to walk Trump off the stage. But again, no plexiglass barriers or any kind of really protection there of Trump. When you hear the, there's the hat. When you hear the shots, again, it sounds like a pistol, some kind of small arms fire, some kind of, Trump here is rallying, fight, fight, fight. This is just dramatic and unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And these are emotional moments too. Like it was like I don't like this at all. This is just disgusting. The same thing would be true if this happened to Biden or really anyone. This is just so un-American to shoot at a president, though it has happened in the past as well. I mean, JFK and other assassination attempts. I mean, it's happened. Lincoln. So it certainly has happened, but that doesn't make it right. This is Trump getting escorted into the van here. You can see this sort of protective detail here, both police and what appear to be either National Guard or private security contractors covering with the Secret Service on the inner circle there. Freaking crazy, though. What a failure. What a failure. Seriously. Oh, I don't understand. So I'm going to go ahead and play this so you could actually see when this occurs. Okay, again, this is definitely intense and emotional. So here you go.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move his spear. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Those sounds you hear of the move, on you, ready, those are the, likely the tactical response teams here as they climb up on the stage. And you could hear them on the mic. It could also be the Secret Service right behind the microphone and stage there. Because now the first goal is to protect Trump as they rush to the stage. You could see that played from this angle. The first goal is to protect him physically. The second goal is then to extract him from the situation. But this is absolutely insane. This is a massive failure by the Secret Service. Again, Trump is okay. My assumption is that this is somebody who really tried to take a long-range shot here with a handgun, which is why, fortunately, Trump was just grazed here. It doesn't look like there was an actual, again, he's walking on his own here. You can see that in this shot here. He's walking on his own. He's able to pump his fists. He knows he's okay. But my guess is somebody was probably, and this is just my speculation, but somebody was probably in the neighborhood of, 100 to 150 yards away. That's a pretty hard shot. Concealed carry training will take you out to 40, 45 yards, 100 yards. This might have even been more. I don't think it was this would have been a rifle, because if it was a rifle, they probably wouldn't have missed. Handgun, along with I'm also just surprised that nobody immediately behind the president was hit. That's somewhat surprising. So it looks like it must have come from, from our perspective, looking at Trump from the back left is what it looks like. So from where that one Secret Service agent just sort of ran up in that back side, this was a pretty far away shot. I think I see or have seen footage on this stream here of some, of some officers at the back of a stage circulating. I'm trying to find as much more detail as we can get. My assumption is from this area over here is where the shooting came from. Again, my speculation. but somewhere I noticed officers in the crowd. I like at the end of these bleachers. I can't remember where that footage was. Obviously, at this point, everybody's leaving out of there. Yeah, we'll keep flipping around here. Yeah, everybody's kind of getting kicked out of the event. The event's cleared at this point. Yeah, event fully gets cleared out. It's absolutely insane. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, this is something, by the way, that Tucker Carlson... oh, okay. Well, now there's some sources saying that Trump... the shots may have actually come from behind Trump. Let's see here. When we're trying to... Yeah, I mean, again, everybody's just trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to flip to... Let me go to... This is NBC. We're going to flip around here for a moment.
It's hard to tell, but he certainly...
They're just interviewing an ATF person on this channel, so we're going to go to... Let's go to 45. This is very odd.
American to join us in that. I am quite sure that is what is happening at this moment for those who have witnessed what we saw there today. So, Ted, we understand. Listen, Secret Service, their priority is protecting the president and getting him out of there. But now we've got a crime scene investigation. What happens in the moments after we watch all of this play out when it comes to law enforcement and investigating what just happened there at that scene?
Well, immediately, Shannon, what happens is that area in which the shots were believed to have been fired is now a crime scene. So what law enforcement is doing is that they...
Ro Khanna just responded, I'm absolutely appalled by the gunshots fired at Donald Trump. Violence is never acceptable in our democracy. I pray he was not seriously hurt for our deeply divided nation. Lauren Southern says they made him a felon and an assassination attempt survivor. I can't speak today. Assassination attempt survivor. Wait, what? Secret Service. Oh, okay. Okay, Trump is safe. Implemented measures around Trump. This is now an active investigation. Yeah, we don't have more. Possible assassination attempt. Wow. So anyway, Lauren Southern, they made him a felon and an assassination attempt survivor. Street cred levels never seen before in modern politics. Well, I mean, so obviously there are going to be a lot of conspiracies around this. Vivek tweeted, pray for Trump. Then you've got David Sachs tweeting, Tucker was right. I think that's a reference to the suggestion that they would try to assassinate Donald Trump, because Tucker Carlson has suggested that before, and it looks like Tucker is right. And an assassination attempt just happened on Donald Trump. Again, he's okay. Let me see if CNN has any news on this.
They put their bodies in between the former president and the perceived threat, so they would actually absorb any secondary, type of, rounds that may come into the president. They do a rapid assessment. The president's on the ground. He has agents that are on top of him. They're quickly trying to assess his current state. Was he hit? What is going on? All the while, they are getting information from agents that are outside of that inner circle around what is going on. Where is the perceived threat coming from? What is the next course of action? We actually can hear some of the audio. They obviously got some indication that they can move the president, that it's safe to move the president, or the risk is minimized somehow. You heard them call out some of the audio.
Elon Musk just tweeted, I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. There was some discussion that Donald Trump had potentially been, that Elon Musk has potentially donated to the Donald Trump PAC, the super PAC, within the last about 24 hours. I saw some news around this. I don't know how confirmed that is yet, but Elon Musk is now clearly and fully standing behind Donald Trump. Previously, Elon Musk mentioned he wouldn't donate to a president, but now you've got Elon Musk likely donating to Donald Trump and now stating that he fully endorses Donald Trump. It is very interesting also to note that, this is first of all, this is very, very terrible. But it's also something to look at, like this probably again, I'm not trying to minimize the severity of this, but this probably helps Trump, right? It makes it so clear that the change that he's pushing for is so powerful to some. To others, we'll see that as scary change. That somebody's willing to basically get killed to take the stab at assassinating Trump. But what'll likely happen after this is the intensity around the supporters of Donald Trump will actually likely increase a lot. You'll likely get a lot more donations. You'll get, I mean, this is like if you were thinking about voting for Trump and you were like, I don't know if I want to, fill out my ballot. I don't know if I want to go to the polling station. This is the kind of stuff that makes you rally around a candidate and actually makes you go vote. So I think the odds of a Trump presidency rise probably substantially after something like this. Anyway, let's listen in here.
President speaking, and then we'll hear some banging noise. And you tell me, Jonathan, if these are gunshots.
Oh, they are.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
You can hear people screaming and people shouting, get down, get down, get down. What was your assessment of the noise, the banging noise that we heard just before the former president raised his right hand to his face, and you could then see some blood near his ear? Go ahead.
So, Wolf, I mean, it certainly sounds like a gunfire, but let me put this in the perspective of a Secret Service agent. Myself, I have stood on that stage. I know exactly what is going on through the minds of those agents that are there. They don't have the time to make that 100% determination. Is this gunfire? Where is it coming from? What they know is that there's some sort of threat. They may not know exactly what it is, but they know that they need to react extremely quickly in fractions of a second count. You saw that the Secret Service agents came in, they pulled him down, and they dove on top of him. That is the right call, right? We don't know what that primary sound was. That could have been gunfire, but it could have also been something else. The moment that they perceive a threat to the life of the former president, they are going to react. And in this case, their reaction time and what they did could have potentially saved the president's life. This is an extremely dynamic situation. It's unpredictable. That's why you always see Secret Service agents very close by, within arm's reach of the former president or the president or any type of protectee, to be able to have this fraction of a second reaction time. One other note, Wolf, I want to say is some of the members of this detail specifically, some of the people that were watching on the screen react, I trained with them. I worked with them on the president's detail. I know them extremely well. They are the most competent agents that the Secret Service has. They reacted perfectly. I trained with them. This is exactly what I trained with them on, these types of events, and they reacted near flawlessly.
And they got him into that vehicle, and they're taking him away right now. The Secret Service saying that he is safe right now.
Look at the guy giving the middle finger on the right.
It's historic. This is dramatic.
There are two people. It was the guy with the hat and now someone in front.
Andrew, a huge crowd like that, won't these people who are going to be especially getting close to the former president of the United States, who is under constant Secret Service protection, won't they have to go through magnetometers first so that they could determine if there are any weapons being brought in?
Yeah, well, if you would expect that would be required of anyone who would attend a rally of this size, certainly anyone that would be in that kind of the inner ring, the closest seats, either in front of or behind the president. Now, I can't say what the actual rules were in place for this rally. We'll find that out later. But the magnetometers are the only way to ensure that this large group of people who you do not know, people who have not been subjected to any sort of background screening or anything like that, magnetometers are the only way to ensure that they don't have weapons, that they don't bring dangerous implements into that rally.
And I could.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, I mean, again, this could have been somebody further away too. Some folks are saying that based on the sound, that potentially a suppressor was used. I'll go back to the sound so you could hear it. It somewhat makes sense because it doesn't sound, just loud enough for a gunshot, although it just depends on the range. I personally do think this was a 100-plus yard shot. And I think that's why they missed, essentially, or grazed him. But I'm also wondering, like, it doesn't look like anybody behind him was hit. So, like, maybe the shot came from over here, because Donald Trump's looking this way when he gets shot towards these trees or this water tower over here, right? So it's almost like some kind of shot coming from over in this direction, to where other bullets could potentially, land in the ground behind over here. The bullets had to have gone somewhere, but there's no report of any other injury. So it doesn't seem like it was from this direction where you're going into the crowd behind, which is bad because then you're likely killing multiple people. It looks more like a downstream shot from one of the sides, is what it seems like. Again, I'll play it right here.
Look what happened.
Hear that clink, 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 clink. It doesn't sound either close. It doesn't sound like it's closer than 100 yards. And it sounds either suppressed or just very low caliber.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
It could have also been, like a .22 rifle, right? Something that, usually you start training kids on when it's where you first introduce kids to when it comes to firearms, like a smaller .22, the pea shooters, which could have been a rifle. The problem is a rifle is very, very difficult to conceal. I don't imagine this was a rifle. I think this was a small handgun. It's just my guess, it's my speculation, but just based on what I hear, the range, and and the likely angle, and the fact that they missed. A rifle would have been a lot easier not to have missed with. And I hate saying that. Like that a graze is a miss, okay? They missed.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Yeah. Anyway, again, it doesn't mean that I think it's definitely not a rifle. I just think a rifle. I don't know. They would have had to have been. I mean, it's also possible that this was a rifle at an even longer range, right? It's possible. Like, what if somebody's on the water tower? Just as an example, to be extreme here. Like, you go here, water tower, or in the trees, really long range. Entirely possible. So we'll see. So I'll put my bottom line at either 150 yard. 9mm handgun or smaller, like a 32 or whatever, or a lower caliber rifle at an even further range, 200, 300 yards, maybe even a little further, up in the trees, up a water tower. I mean, I don't see anything on the water tower, but I mean, it doesn't mean we have the angles of where this happened from or whatever. So who knows? But this is an assault on democracy, and it's really sad. Very emotional day. This was not on my cards for a Saturday. This is absolutely crazy. So let's keep flipping around here just to get some perspective. You did hear the Secret Service interview they just had here, which I thought was useful at CNN. We'll hop on over to Fox for a second.
Live right now on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we're...
Oops, wrong one.
I think we can now trust the statements that are being made to say that he's okay. All the video evidence we can see, including this picture that was on the screen just moments ago of him raising his fist and being carried away by the Secret Service group, confirms that. So I think this looks like something that could have been much worse than it is at the moment, than it's turned out to be, and we can all be very grateful for that indeed, and very grateful indeed as well for the Secret Service. They don't mess around, as you could see. The president was trying to, stand up, raise his fist.
Yeah, and I mentioned as well that I thought this was a pretty big failure on the part of the Secret Service. Still agree with that. I think I mentioned this earlier too, that I think we're going to go back to the glass partitions that they had on J6 to protect from exactly this. Look at this, by the way, a clip with Tucker Carlson from the Adam Carolla show.
Called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times. And every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have him. They called him names.
There it is.
He won anyway.
So that's Tucker Carlson there previously suggesting that we're trending towards assassination, and that's exactly what we've seen here. Very, very, very bad. At the same time, Donald Trump has just been endorsed by Elon Musk, who also likely made a donation to Elon Musk's super PAC within the last 24 to 48 hours, or at least the news of it broke.
Well, first of all, my due respect goes out to the United States Secret Service. They are the heroes today. Secret Service.
Well, they messed up. So
How they rallied around.
the hero is the person who doesn't know how to, or the divine intervention that happened that prevented that bullet from being like 1 inch over. It's just disgusting.
I am not. Trump derangement syndrome is real. People hate this man, and they will do anything that they have to take him out. And that is a terrifying statement to make in our nation right now. But
And Trump has stated now in a statement that he's fine. He's being treated at a local medical facility. And I think we have some footage of his motorcade taking him to the hospital. Obviously, a lot of pictures being posted on X of him walking out of the rally bloodied. Let's take a listen here to the... That's crazy. Ay. All right, let's keep listening in here for a moment.
Move! Go! Hawkeye's here! Hawkeye's here! Move it to the stand! Get ready! We ready?
Okay, the shooter is now reported to be dead. So it looks like the shooter has potentially been killed here. Let's see. I'm just reviewing what's going on here. It does. Obviously, we don't have a name or identification yet, or any information. But it looks like what's coming through right now is the shooter may indeed be dead here. There are now quotes of Joe Biden. I don't know if this is true. Somebody is suggesting that Joe Biden at one point said, I'm going to see if I can find this source. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. I don't know if that is a true quote. Oh, it is. Because that literally just happened. Bulls. Yeah, look at this. So obviously the reference wasn't to actually do so with a gun, unless it was implied. I have one job, and that's to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. And this is reported by Political 5 days ago. 5 days ago. No way.
Studied quite deeply. They have all these protocols in place. They're going to have multiple locations on where to take the president. They are going to get some criticism and questions about how anybody could get that close, if indeed it was a firearm that was there. But once that comes into action, the Secret Service will tighten its perimeter around the other protectees, the Trump children. You don't know how wide this might be. Is it just a lone person? Is it a couple of different people? Don't know if the reports about other people being injured there are true or not.
Are you leaving?
And that will be interesting to see if how that plays out. But the president there with the flag in the background, blood coming from his face, standing defiantly, I think will be perhaps the most defining moment of this presidential election year. They tried to incarcerate him. They've now had an assassination attempt on the president. And the temperature in this country, we all need to take a deep breath.
Okay, it's the county prosecutors reporting that at least one dead after shooting at Trump rally. Again, Trump is okay. Okay, more confirmations. The shooter who tried to assassinate the president is now dead. Okay.
Saying there, and what he's doing, and the way he reacts to that gunshot, that we don't have a full confirmation that it is an actual gunshot, but that's what people on the ground are saying. I'm fairly familiar with firearms. At least that's what it sounds like. But until somebody definitively from the Secret Service or local law enforcement says that, you don't know. You also have local law enforcement. Local law enforcement is going to be there. You're going to have tactical teams. You're going to have SWAT teams. You're going to potentially have National Guardsmen there that are there to support the effort.
Okay, there's some discussion that potentially in this clip we're going to be able to hear "shooter down." Hold on, I have the wrong audio playing. One sec. Okay, so in this clip, we might be able to hear "shooter down." This is the original clip. I haven't heard it, but I'm going to listen now. Listen now for the words "shooter down" as the Secret Service rushes to Donald Trump along with the tactical unit. Let's listen in. Here.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
I don't hear it myself, but that's intense. So I'm going to try listening to it one more time. But it's very interesting. As the shots happen, you could actually hear what sound like some Secret Service agents getting on top. I heard one person saying, "What do we do? Okay, what are we doing?" And I'm like, I was hoping you would have the answer to that already. Butler County District Attorney says one person believed to be dead. No information yet out about the shooter. Still waiting for more on this in terms of what we can get in terms of details. But again, it does look like the shooter is down. and Biden camp apparently being briefed on this, but no statement yet from the Biden camp. Let's listen one more time. Okay. Here's another. Hold on, there's another clip that I might be able to use. Okay, well, I'll try that clip in just a moment. But let me try this one more time here. And this is just the original scene.
Take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Hawkeye.
Okay, all right. I have another clip that somebody sent me. They suggest you could hear the shooter down comment. Here's another stream with maybe a different audio source that we could listen to.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Ten seconds to the shooter down.
When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Moving to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Shooter's down. Shooter's down.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
Shooter's down.
We're clear.
Let's move. Let's move.
We're clear.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we're
Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Okay, one shoe down. Get the shoe.
Watch out.
Wait.
Let me get my shoes. Donald Trump after being shot. Guys, let me get my shoes. Did I hear that right? Is that what he said? Okay, so basically the audio feed on this link I have here, it has more. You get more audio. The mic doesn't cut as soon, and you do hear that they don't move Donald Trump until the Secret Service says shooter down, shooter down. This is really intense. Let's listen to it again. And right after you hear shooter down, you hear, let me get my shoes. Nobody knows my shoes better than I do. Wow. That's okay. Stand by. Audio went to mute. Okay. One sec. Come on, Facebook audio. It's all right. One sec.
Chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Moving to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready? we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move.
We're clear.
Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. My shoes.
Watch out.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure the first words that Donald Trump says after being shot and hearing shooter down, clear, are, let me get my shoes. Oh, goodness. What freaking world do we... Can I just take a moment to say that if you need life insurance, go to metkevin.com/life. It's a paid affiliate of the channel, metkevin.com/life. Sign up for life insurance within as little as 5 minutes.
7 or 8 shots, and it was hard to tell whether they came from one direction or from 2 different weapons. It wasn't clear. At least I couldn't tell. And then sadly, someone behind me up in the bleachers was definitely wounded. And there was a lot of blood, and the police came in and helped carry that person out of the stands so they could get the care they needed. I'm not sure if others were injured or not. It was all, as you might imagine, very chaotic. But it was a very scary moment, obviously, because our president and innocent bystanders were under siege.
Yeah, sir, can you tell us how many people had gathered there today? It looked like quite the turnout. And also, can you just take us through what you saw from your perspective? Did it come from your left side or your right side, or where was it in relation to where you were located?
Yeah, I don't, it was an enormous crowd. I had asked a number of law enforcement officers, and they had said something around 15,000. So I don't know if that's an official number, but it was certainly huge. And it just kept coming and coming. It was building throughout the day. It's hard to tell, but at least some of the shots, I was sitting to President Trump's right as he was facing the crowd, and I was in the front row. It felt like some of the shots came from his left side, which would make sense because someone behind me was hit. So it felt like at least some came from that side of the crowd. And as I said, I couldn't tell whether it was one gun or 2, but there were 7 or 8 shots, just one right after another.
Well, and Dave, I mean, you're an Iraq War vet. You have served us in uniform voluntarily like these law enforcement folks out there today. So it is unmistakable to you that these were gunshots. This was a firearm.
Yeah.
I found the shooter here. This is the shot. This is the shot I was looking for earlier with the shooter being removed.
I don't have the exact specific.
Hold on. I keep leaving other audio sources on. Silly me. Sorry. One sec. Here it is. This is what looks to be the shooter injured, but it's very difficult to see.
In that stage,
Oh, he was on the stands. Oh, okay, so he was within the stands. The shooter was within the stands. It was that back left corner. So facing Trump, back left corner is where the shots came from. So it looks like here you've got at least, it looks like you've got a deputy here, maybe a second, third deputy here. You've got some National Guard folks here.
Into words how shocking it was to the people in the crowd, and to me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's
Gloves
going
on.
was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on
Oh yeah, there you go. There's somebody being held right here.
the microphone, Shannon,
There's likely the person's arm.
saying, let me grab my shoes, as they tried to take them
Yeah, here they are.
off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
You can't really see anything. Okay, so that was definitely not a rifle then. That was almost certainly now, as we expected, a pistol.
They can't hear my
Okay, so here what we're taking a look at once again is a live report down there on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania, where we do have a reporter. I'm going to keep Donald Trump hosting this rally, speaking to his supporters.
That's where it was. That corner right there. These are other people evacuating that area. And now they're sort of moving the camera away from that. So that was the corner. Let's go back and look at that one more time.
On the microphone, Shannon, saying, "Let me grab my shoes," as they tried to take him off.
Can't really see anything.
Shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, "Let me grab my shoes," as they tried to take him off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay. All right.
Your location.
That's right. Shall just read from that readout that a White House official just sent out that President Biden has been briefed. These are the officials. His director of the United States Secret Service, Alejandro Mayorkas, of course, the DHS chief, and Liz Sherwood-Randall, assistant to the president and Homeland Security advisor. And the following members of President Biden's team participated in that briefing, Shannon. Jeff Zients, of course, the president's chief of staff, Steve Ricchetti, assistant to the president, counselor of the president, and Annie Tomasinini, which is the assistant and deputy chief.
So this means, by the way, someone inside the crowd. This was not from the outside in. Somebody inside the crowd had a handgun that they got into this rally and shot Donald Trump with. That's a clear Secret Service failure. Security is now being heightened at Trump properties across the country, as well as for members of the Trump family. Trump shooter now reported as dead. The individual, let's see here. It's unknown if this person was killed in crossfire or was the shooter. Okay. Let's see here. Now it says one person in custody after Trump incident. We're not sure if they're dead or alive. Jeez. Yeah, this is pretty anti-American. This is not the way to show you disagree with someone's politics.
We all know that President Trump has many, many threats that are probably coming at him on a daily basis. Obviously, Secret Service, they immediately shield the president or former president, and then they, the SWAT teams come in, they're working with local law enforcement, federal law enforcement, and they will hold the scene. And again, like has been mentioned by other guests, the FBI will arrive on the scene, and then the FBI will conduct the investigation. They'll collaborate their efforts.
Okay, somebody in the comments is apparently saying that it was Alec Baldwin who shot him. I just want everybody to know that I will always stand behind Alec Baldwin. Okay.
Very tragic for our country. Regardless of where one stands on the political spectrum, taking out your anger with violence is unacceptable. And, they got him out of the scene, thank goodness, but this could have ended very, very differently. And I've heard other guests, come on and say that, and I cannot express that enough. I have a very dear friend who was shot in the head, an FBI special agent, and she is not with us any longer. So this could have, just even...
Here's, it looks like, there are potentially 2 people dead. Trump was grazed. There are now reports of 2 people being dead. So we're not sure if the video we saw... Okay, and somebody else, one person is in critical condition now. An audience member of the rally was killed, and the shooter is dead. Okay, so we have 2 people dead, 1 person critical. So now we have three serious, we have 3 issues here. We got Donald Trump grazed, 1 person in critical condition, and 1 person dead. So now it's unclear, obviously, if the shooter accidentally, shot audience members. It's likely. I don't think that the shooter who was shot was, maybe there could have been counterfire that then hit people who got caught in that crossfire. My assumption is it's likely that somebody, now that we know where the shots were coming from, I'm going to say it's likely somebody behind Donald Trump, especially with that graze, got the full brunt of those bullets. So I'm going to go back and see if we can get a clip of that actual shooting again. And then we'll be able to see if somebody else behind him is hit, potentially. But, yeah, shooter confirmed dead, one person critical, one other person dead, and Trump is okay. But let's listen in to... see if I don't mess this up right here.
Our country took over. And look what...
Hold on. Let's put that on normal speed.
Probably 20 million people. If you want to really see something to say...
Right? This is where the shot happens, okay? So you're going to have to watch really closely here. Actually, let's just go to slow-mo here. Ready?
And take a look what happened.
You see a lot of people duck down pretty quickly there. Actually, there's a... it looks like a boy right here. He ducks pretty quickly. He doesn't look like he got injured. Yeah, he ducked his head down fast, dude. That kid was on it. That kid had the fastest reaction time out of everyone. Somebody needs to hire someone. Somebody needs to hire him, get him trained. Jeez, look how fast this guy ducks, dude. His watch right behind that sign. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody there is injured. But then again, it would presumably be more, given that we know the shot came from, here's Trump. Oh, that shot's not that far away. Look at that. If this is indeed where the shooter was, I wonder if you can, I mean, the quality's not that great because obviously the camera's not focused over here. We think it's coming from here. Right there. So let's look at that one more time. I want to just see if the audience moves at all over here. This upper left corner. See this sign right here? Right under the sign. Look at this corner right here.
If you want to really see something to said, take a look what happened.
There are the shots. It's really hard to tell. Somebody says they saw a flash. Really? Let me see. So again, right here, I wish I had like an enhance, like CIA, like enhance. Okay, my eyes are kind of focused right here where my mouse is. Let's, I think I'm on the slowest of slow-mo here. Let's try one more time. Oh, yeah. Right here. I can't tell if that's a sign turning around or if that's a muzzle flash right there. That's really hard to tell. It's almost like they're using like the paper maybe as cover, right? Let's try again right here.
Something to said. Take a look what happened.
That's tough to tell. That's tough to tell. Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Very, very, very sad day in America right here. Again, still one person critical condition. Donald Trump okay. One person, the shooter's dead. Audience member at the Trump rally also dead.
By an assassin's bullet. It is these people who stand up to run for president of the United States
They put their safety on the line every day, and these Secret Service heroes who surround him, I mean, think of this image of them literally body to body creating a wall around the person that they protect. And I heard you speak about this earlier, Shannon and Bill, but I mean, these guys we have an incredible team of people who protect presidents and presidential candidates in this country, and we need to be very grateful for them. And I would just stress that we're still waiting to learn the details about exactly what happened here and where this person who started this incident is right now. And that is the story of this evening. And I do expect, as I heard Bill say earlier, that we will likely hear from President Trump tonight. So we will stay tuned for that as well, guys.
Thank you, Martha. Martha McCallum joining us as our coverage continues live here in Milwaukee. And Shannon, just want to bring out, there's a lot of information out there from the Butler County, Pennsylvania DA. And he apparently, his name is Goldinger, Goldinger. And apparently he's speaking with a number of members of the press. None of this has been confirmed, so I just want to walk cautiously with it. But listening to David McCormick describe that man who was seated.
I don't know the legitimacy of this video footage here, but look at this. Again, this could be like a different event. This could be total BS. I have really, frankly, no way to vet this. But let me see what this is.
You can see the guy there.
That's not in the audience.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
That's crazy. So if that's not in the audience, then that goes back to the thesis of maybe it was a rifle. This is the thing, like nobody knows, right? We're just kind of trying to take information. So, but then why was an audience member shot over there at the left end of the stage? This is crazy. I'm also surprised that the top of these buildings weren't like surveilled. Like, how does somebody climb on top of a freaking building and not get picked up by the by the Secret Service?
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
Yeah, his person's obviously not moving right there. This is freaking crazy.
I had a phone call with former Ambassador Kip Tom, who was in the front row at this rally, sitting very close to Senate candidate David McCormick. And the first thing he said to me was, "I never thought this would happen again." He then went into details about what he saw. He said he saw gun smoke and bullets flying from multiple directions. And that's what we've heard from a number of people tonight, given their first eyewitness testimony being there. And he also had the same opinion that the president was lucky to be alive, which of course is what Senate candidate Dave McCormick also told you guys earlier about the current situation. So I'm sure we will hear from the president. We are 2 days from the RNC convention. He has every intention of moving forward and showing up there. It's pretty incredible to watch him walk off that stage shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." And I look forward to hearing what he has to say about this historic moment that we were watching. We always say we have a front row seat to history. And this is a terrible day for the country and the current situation that we're in.
Katie, thank you for that. Katie Pavlich joining us from Washington, D.C., and we'll see you in Milwaukee a bit later in the week. Shannon?
Yeah, let's check in with Alexis McAdams. She was there as this happened, and I believe she's got an eyewitness or maybe more with her. Alexis, we toss to you.
Yeah, so we were able to get out of that area after they turned it into an active crime scene, Shannon and Bill, and we were able to talk with some people who heard what we heard too, those several pops as they all took cover here in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm going to take you closer here to who we're talking to. So you guys are, in shock. One, you can't leave because they've closed down the roads, and two, you're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. What did you hear when you were inside of that rally?
I heard about 7 or 8 shots. She's better at this than me. I heard do the talking.
What did you do as soon as you heard that? Did you try to get down?
No,
or?
I did not. I stood up and tried to film it, but it didn't work very good. They're the ones that hit the ground.
Okay. So walk me through, too,
I would have taken a shot for me.
What you heard. I mean, you were pretty close, or where were you?
We were right behind where the chairs are at.
and we started hearing, I thought it was firecrackers. And I'm like, who would be shooting off firecrackers in here? Well, then somebody started yelling, hit the ground, hit the ground. And when I looked over, then I saw the smoke from the gunfire. So then everybody hit the ground, and he kept standing. I was like, you got to get down, Bob. You got to get down. They're going to shoot you. Because if they would have had like a machine gun, they could have taken us all out. So then we laid there for a while, and we saw different places where the gunshots were at. And then they got President Trump down, Secret Service did, and they took him out of there and got him off of the stage. And he was bleeding. And so then my son and daughter-in-law was back behind.
All right, I'm going to flip off this. Someone's suggesting maybe get my shoes is like maybe potentially a code word or something that Trump might use. Maybe it implies like, I'm okay. I don't know.
Was that the threat has been neutralized, or the shooter has been neutralized. That actually now confirms what we heard the agents on the stage in that audio just a moment ago actually say. Now, I want to just
they said just to interrupt you for a second. We heard those Secret Service agents say, "Shooter is down. Shooter is down." Is that what you heard?
So that's actually really important, Wolf. And the reason being is because as the agents came in and pushed the former president down, and they basically they tackle him down, and they put themselves in between the former president and the threat. They're not going to move that former president or any protectee if there's active rounds coming in. So when we heard that word, the shooter is down, was really important. That was a key moment for the detail leader to then make the call, we're going to move to the next terrain.
Okay, it sounds like there's a potential that the shooter on the building adjacent to the rally was taken down by a Secret Service counter sniper. So that would then reiterate that this video is potentially legitimate, that a Secret Service counter sniper heard the shot, flipped over, and basically shot back. That's freaking crazy. Oh my gosh.
Secret Service, the protective methodology is actually applied to this type of event. It's actually concentric rings of protection. What we're witnessing on air and looking at the stage is the closest ring to the protectee. But that ring radiates out in terms of law enforcement, special agents, private security firms. All of that combined create the security structure of this site. So what we don't know right now is who actually identified that threat in the moment and then neutralized
Jonathan, hold on for a moment.
What we did here is an immediate...
Hold on for a moment. The Associated Press is now reporting that according to the local DA, the suspected gunman and at least one rally attendee are now dead. Very disturbing information. A local prosecutor says the suspected gunman and at least one attendee are dead. That's a significant development in and of itself, right there. The shooter, the suspected gunman, as they're calling him, and one attendee is dead in this incident. Go ahead, Jonathan Wackrow. Finish your thought.
Well, I mean, so it talks about the gravity and the tragedy that just occurred, right? We have a member who attended this rally who is now dead. It talks about the dynamic and unpredictable nature that these threats present. But again, law enforcement trains for this. And Wolf, what I was saying just before that information was we did hear the initial gunfire. Then there was a slight pause, and then you heard rapid gunfire in response. So to me, just listening to that audio shows that there was a shooter, and then there was some response from law enforcement, and now we heard from Evan that the shooter was neutralized. We heard from the agents on the stage that the shooter was down. So that was a key moment for the agents, part of the shift, to then be able to feel that it was a safe enough moment, or there was a lull in the gunfire that they could move the president from the stage to the to the limousine when safe and when the appropriate assets were surrounding the former president, to include that tactical team that we're seeing. We're seeing the agents just create that bubble around the president as they're moving him off stage. What you're seeing again is, if you look into the crowd, you're seeing...
Okay, this is This is unclear. There are some people saying this is not the person. Some people are saying it is. But some folks are apparently now posting that potentially this individual was the shooter, named Mark Violets, like Violet with an S at the end. Apparently someone who's posted anti-Trump videos and threatened violence on YouTube or social media or otherwise, and potentially the person on the rooftop. It's unclear right now. I haven't seen any kind of official confirmation of this, so who knows? This could be totally wrong. This could be some other random person. You always have to be careful when there's breaking news like this. It's very difficult to know exactly what is true and what isn't. What we have so far is, obviously, this is an assault on democracy. We have Trump that was grazed. We have one attendee dead, and one attendee in critical condition. It's unclear if which one was the one that was dragged out on the left side of the bleachers that we saw. It's also unclear if that rooftop image that we saw was indeed the shooter, although it does appear there are now suggestions that the Secret Service counter-sniper team was able to essentially react to the shooting and fire back, within moments of the shooting beginning. Then we have, this comment from Trump, "Let me get my shoes" when he gets up, which, right here he says, "Let me get my shoes, let me get my shoes." We're not clear if that's some kind of code because, somebody saying, I got him, or whatever. I don't really know how his shoes came off or what's going on there. Obviously, his MAGA hat was off, and one of the Secret Service agents it can be seen carrying that hat right there. So, a lot of reaction, outpouring, obviously, all over social media, including Elon Musk making his official endorsement of Donald Trump. It's also talk that Donald Trump may have pledged donations to Donald Trump's, that Elon Musk may have pledged donations to Donald Trump's super PAC. Donald Trump, again, confirmed safe. And two other folks shot at the rally. I'm trying to see. It doesn't look like. Okay, Trump Jr. just posted on Truth. "We will never stop fighting for America." Very clear, powerful message here. I suspect the impacts of this are going to be to increase the odds of voters voting for Trump, like actually voting. Because you could have people who support Trump but then don't get out to vote. But I think the get out to vote campaign, it gets, quite frankly, a lot more powerful after an instance like this. That's not to be, insensitive to the fact that Donald Trump was just shot at. It's just to state a reality. I believe if I press this button, yeah, there we go. This is... "My father will never stop fighting for America." This is the Truth Social post right here. This is the last Truth Social post we have. We don't have any Truth Social posts yet, other than some posts from Trump 4 hours ago. And so no posts yet. This was also supposed to be the event where Donald Trump's VP was going to be announced. Or either today or tomorrow. So it's unclear when when the VP was going to be picked to accept that honor. But some folks think this was supposed to be that rally. Again, Elon Musk promoting that he... is now fully endorsing Donald Trump. Let me take a look at this. What is this? An emergency room doctor. Let me pull this up. Emergency room doctor. This looks like somebody trying to help somebody in the crowd. I wonder how the folks in the crowd got shot. I mean, there'll be really big reconstructions of all this. But let's listen in here to this for a moment.
That's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots.
I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There's lots of blood, and he had brain matter there.
Oh,
and
no.
so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on a
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
Wow.
I was the only one who did it.
need to evacuate everybody. Hunter, that's exactly.
What a badass. What a badass. This he administered CPR and gave the guy breaths who was shot in the head and had apparently brain matter. That's crazy. Okay, let's go look at that. Let's look at the shooting one more time. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up in just a moment so we can listen to it here. But what a hero. Honestly, what a hero. Reacting to a shooting victim shot in the head and then administering CPR and mouth-to-mouth. Okay, so, jeez, Lord, this is a terrible day. This is so sad. God. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, there's some more footage of the headshot victim. Hold on, let's listen to this first. So it looks like here's Trump. Somebody over here gets shot in the head. Now I'm wondering, is that because of the angle, right? If you had the building over here, it's possible that if the person was lying down on the building behind these trees, that the person basically accidentally shot here, hit one of the audience members first, or hit Trump first, and then the audience member. I'm not entirely sure, but this could be the trajectory right here. Let's look at it one more time.
You,
Gavin, with the audio. Okay, here we go.
That said, take a look at what happened.
I'm gonna go back for a moment. Look at specifically this area to the left of the sign over here. I'm gonna try to also get like a satellite view of this.
I really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Absolutely crazy. Okay. Wow. Jeez.
And make sure that he recovered and they got him off stage. But the whole audience, I don't think no one knew how to react at the time. It was a big surprise. Some people probably thought it was fireworks to start with. But as people exited, you heard all kinds of talk about, was it just fireworks or was someone shot or just, they didn't realize the president had been shot. So,
Kip, you were only about 40 feet away from the former president of the United States. To get into that rally, did you have to go through metal magnetometers?
Yes, everybody went through metal magnetometers.
Yeah, but again, we think those shots came from the outside, so it doesn't matter. This was literally an outside coming in shot. Also, I'm noticing Donald J. Trump's website loading pretty slowly right. No, there we go. Okay, it's just the events page that's not loading. Everything else seems to be loading. Yeah, the events page just pinwheels. That's interesting.
Screen everybody.
And do you know how far away the suspected shooter was from the president?
I would have said if you would have went off to the side there, you're talking 40. probably 100 foot away, 120 foot away, maybe.
And you think people that far away went through metal detectors too?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they were sitting in the stages to the right and to the left, and then there was, of course, people in behind President Trump sitting behind him as well.
Yeah, so that's encouraging that at least security was tight. We don't know how this suspected shooter got as close as he apparently did to the former president of the United States and fired shots at the former president and in the process killed somebody who was just there. And then this shooter is now dead as well. We heard the Secret Service agents shouting out, "Shooter down, shooter is down, shooter is down." So we suspected that that shooter had been shot by local law enforcement or the Secret Service or the FBI or the military, all of whom protect a former president of the United States just as they protect a sitting president of the United States. Any other points you want to make, Kip, before I let you go?
No, I mean, it was after just a number of the shots came off that you could tell there was a different caliber gun shot. So, there was a lot going on there, but I'm saying it was after 5, 6, 7 shots, I heard a different caliber gun being fired. So I assume that's the Secret Service with their guns. They had him identified and was shooting at him.
Yeah, well, Kip, I'm happy you're okay, and a lot of other people are okay. This could have been, God forbid, even a whole lot worse than it already has been reported. Kip Tom, thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate it very much. John Miller is still with us, our chief law enforcement and intelligence.
All right, I think I have a little bit more color on this location. It's very difficult to figure out. Obviously, trying to do this live is also challenging, but take a look at this. This is the shooter video, right? Shooter down video. And see the color of this this sort of metal structure here. Okay. Now, we're going to compare that to where the rally is held here. It's the Butler Farm Show, Inc. Fairgrounds. And there are a few buildings that look like this. There's this one, and this doesn't seem to have the right color. Neither do these, because these appear to have fencing around it. So it's unclear, but it's possible it could have been this. And it's also very difficult to tell where the trees are relative to this in terms of where the shot came from. I suppose it's also possible that the shot came from the right? And think about this. So if the shot came from the right trajectory, where these red barns are, then you could have also had a Trump grazed here, and then somebody hit here. So it come from this back right corner. So I'm gonna look one more time at the angles here of this, but it is quite challenging to figure out sort of the alignment. And we also don't know the alignment of the stage, presumably because I do see the red roof here, and then it looks like the the red side, the non-red sides here. Here's that red. Then you have maybe the non-reds and some more red, right? So red, non-red, red. Somewhat aligns with maybe this. So maybe the stage is over here. Which would imply the guy's maybe even on this. But that's so close. This one's further away, but doesn't align with somebody getting shot left of stage. I don't know. It's all speculation, obviously. But this is what the area looks like. Oh, you have an airport right there, too. So, I don't know. Okay.
Events. There's the counter-assault team. They're ready to engage anybody that comes forward as a threat, especially an armed threat. But there are also the counter-sniper teams. Now, this is a very challenging environment. You've got this field, this wide-open field. You have the president at former president at one of his rallies. And there's no high ground around it, except for these low rooftop buildings. And I'm being told by sources that the shooter had climbed up onto one of these single-story rooftops and used that to shoot over the fence into the event. He wasn't inside the event. So, Wolf, that is how the information is shaping up. Now, I'm going to preface this saying, of course, this information is early.
Okay, here's an interview with somebody who apparently and potentially saw the shooter get shot. So the counter strike. Oh, Kevin. Sorry. If I leave, sometimes I leave some of these other video clips looping or running because of X just keeps looping them. And then I have to go figure out where it is and close it. My bad. Here we go.
Department physician, let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the bench.
Oh, yeah, again, same problem. Hold on, I still haven't... Dude, I just paused this. Stop it, X. Yeah, I pause one and the other one starts playing. X, you're driving me nuts.
You weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farm.
Oh, interesting. Here you can see some more of the barns and set up outside. I do see someone in the comments here saying there's a video on X of the killer being dragged out of the crowd. We don't think that's the killer. We actually think that was a victim who was shot. Joe Biden just released a statement. We're grateful to hear Trump is safe. No place for this kind of violence. Must be united as one nation and condemn the violence. Okay, but let's go back to this story right here.
Farming greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know, but we noticed a guy crawling. Bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle.
There it is.
Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this.
That's why the Secret Service was so fast. I was wondering how the counter snipers were able to react so quickly. But what a failure. I mean, if it's like, even if it was 1 minute and somebody's like, there's a guy with a gun, get Trump off the frickin' stage and investigate it. Like, all it takes is the officers, hey, reports of a guy with rifle climbing up onto a structure and like prevent this. Jesus, what a failure.
And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here?
Yes.
I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle.
Dude, I love that this guy has not put his beer down.
100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
I like the guy's shirt. Stick City.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family.
There, finally, they're rotating. Okay, see, there's the building. That's what I've been waiting for, was for them to frickin' rotate the camera. Good lord. So, it's tough to tell. It seems like the interview's being held over here, but it's also very difficult to get to the exact bottom of it. I see a road, I see a yellow line, I see that shack. So let's try to identify here. We've got flags. The flags might not be there in the satellite picture, though. We've got a road with a yellow line here. We've got that yellow-ish building. Here are the white-roofed buildings next to rounded red roofs. Okay, so to the right of the rounded red roofs. Oh, boy. That's tough. Where's the road with the yellow? Oh, here. This is the only road with the yellow. And yeah, I don't see, I mean, this one's called Main Street. You would think Main Street would have oh, this part has a picture here. Video, street view. No, that's not. See, here are these yellowish buildings, right? And this is not a yellow-lined road, though. It seems like only this area is. Yeah, this is very clearly yellow-lined, far away. That's pretty busy. Oh, here's another yellow. Butler Farm Show. Yeah, tough to tell. Let's listen in over here for a moment.
Saw that go on, and then I looked down, I saw that the man, had died in the bleachers. It was just complete pandemonium. Like there was a bit of a delay, like there was a lot of confusion, but immediately, it seemed like more gunfire erupted. I couldn't figure out where that was coming from, and then, there was a state policeman there. I believe a SWAT team, showed up relatively quickly. They jumped the side. There was a fence, it was next to the bleachers. They jumped the bleachers and started clearing the bleachers. And then I helped carry the body of the man down out of the bleachers, and they took him to a tent behind the bleachers. We put a towel over his head, but he's deceased.
You were telling me before when we were chatting briefly that you never had a chance to make it to a Trump rally, that this was your first time. Would you feel safe coming back to another Trump rally?
Yeah, it's a very random event that happens. I feel safe generally where I go in the country. I think the problem is we have everyone seems very angry, and it makes you kind of, I'll go to a Trump rally again, but I'll think twice. you definitely want to have your head on the swivel. It just seems like there's a lot of angry people out there, and I'm not shocked that this happened. I'm shocked that I was sitting there and it happened next to me. Obviously, you never anticipate that to happen, but it's just horrible. We shouldn't be at a level of political discourse in this country where this is going on. It feels like it's 1960 again. It's horrible.
Can you describe for me, Joseph, what happened after you saw the shots? And I was there as well. Secret Service was screaming for everyone to get down. They quickly tried to clear the area. I'm just curious what that process was like for you in the aftermath.
Very confusing. Like I said, I think everyone who was in the bleachers knew. It was initially confusing when the gunshots erupted. I think the crowd thought it was fireworks. I think someone thought they were playing a joke. And, the people who were close to the people that got injured and killed, you obviously knew it wasn't a joke. And it seemed like there was a push-pull in the crowd. And that is, one half of the crowd on the far end of the rally thought it was some type of weird joke. The other half of the crowd knew it wasn't and was trying to push or impress upon the rest of the crowd that this is serious. And I think everyone got the idea very quickly that it was a dangerous situation, and everyone just started hitting the deck. And kudos to the Secret Service. Again, when you're in these situations, a second feels like it's an hour, but it seemed like authorities were there very quickly. It just seemed to me, like I said, I was sitting there, it seemed like the rounds came from behind, and they got this, they hit the gentleman in the head. He got a gunshot wound to the head, and the other lady was injured. And then I saw President Trump, get hit, and it looked like his right ear. But it seemed initially everyone was in, like half the crowd was in shock, and the other half thought it was some type of weird joke. And it took a bit for everyone to get a good understanding of what was going on. So.
Okay, here's it looks like we've now got a little bit of clarity on where this was. Here you go. So here's the water tower. Ugh, lining these angles up is crazy. There's the water tower on the left side of that screen. So it's almost like Donald Trump was probably here. I'm going to try to position this the way that it would have been. So water tower on left. Okay, Trump, we believe, was right here based on this person's tweet, between that white box and that little road there. Oh, I don't have the white box on there's that little road. So right about here. Roughly where Trump was. And they're suggesting, I think he was probably a little further up, but we're going to look at the video here. They're suggesting the shooter was able to climb up on one of these buildings here and take a shot. About, what do we have? A little over, 125, so call it 130-ish yards. That was my guess, is that if it was a rifle, it would have been over 100 yards. I also thought it was probably, if it was a pistol, it was over 100, or about 100 yards. Because it just wasn't loud enough to be closer, is what it seemed like to me. So it definitely seemed like a long-range shot. But now we see that it was likely a rifle from this area here. Here's that yellow road where the interview was taken. And then I want to see where that person says, hey, we saw him or whatever. But another thing we want to pull up is that video again of that shooter, which is right here. It looks like he's on one of the rear structures. These are folks probably trying to listen in. And then Trump is presumably on the other side of this. I can't tell these officers.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there.
Well, obviously, he was targeting to the right. So he might have been on one of the first buildings. Yeah, see? Targeting that way to the right. So he was able to climb up here, shoot from here. Which, if I go back to this, yeah, it could have been. If people were, let's say, standing here, were they maybe looking up here? Something like this. Can I get a 3D shot here? Yeah. There's the color. Could have even been that edge.
Lá em cima, né?
Yeah, could have been that edge. That could be the shot we're looking at right here. How do they not cover this? See, there are the red buildings behind Trump. How do you not cover that? That's I mean, I guess they were probably covering this edge right here with sniper cover, right? But the fact that they didn't have someone covering this slope of the roof is a massive failure. Massive failure by the Secret Service. Oh yeah, we got roof coverage on this angle. How about the other angle, you knuckleheads? Like that's a failure. This is a Secret Service failure. Biden to deliver remarks shortly. Okay, and then it says Biden pausing communications and working to pull down television ads as quickly as possible. I think that's because, you know, it probably would come across as insensitive to be running Donald Trump attack ads after Donald Trump was just shot, right? So Downing Street, a spokesperson condemns all forms of political violence, sending best wishes to Trump and his family. Same thing from Barack Obama. Biden to deliver remarks shortly. Well, they're going to have to update that teleprompter. Let's listen in here.
Understand what's going on.
Yeah, well, just 8:07 o'clock here on the East Coast, just after 8 p.m. in New York, at the end of a deeply traumatic day. Shots fired at Donald Trump, the former president and presumptive 2024 Republican nominee, at his rally, his final rally before Monday's convention in Milwaukee. The suspected gunman is dead, and so is at least one person at the rally.
And Anderson, here in Washington, the U.S. Secret Service and other federal agencies are now clearly in crisis mode, investigating as a possible assassination attempt of the former president of the United States. What happened at 11 minutes past 6 in Butler, Pennsylvania, just north of Pittsburgh? Awful situation, indeed, very scary and very traumatic.
Yeah, the former president had just begun his remarks when the shooting began. I want to show you the video from that moment now until Mr. Trump was taken off stage.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you...
Thank you, by the way, to whoever just put this in the chat. We can rewatch the shooting in just a moment. Thank you to whoever just put that address in. That was extremely convenient. So there's the water tower. I'm also trying to get the White House press schedule up. That's what I was just looking at, because Biden's supposed to deliver remarks. Today's the 12th. It's not. It's 8. It's past 8 right now. Biden arrives in Delaware. Press secretary will gaggle on Air Force One. That's within an hour or whatever. He's probably gonna make some remarks around here, since it's 8:09 right now, East Coast. Okay, but anyway, this is so there's the water tower. Again, water tower left of Trump. You could see it a little better here. There's the water tower. So water tower being left of Trump there. So Trump would have been speaking right here. Oh, it's this one. Here it is. Oh, this is a great view. This looks like the video footage. Well, no, not really. Maybe it was the other side. Because if I go back to this... Yeah, it's clearly... it's the last building, and it's got the full... I mean, it could be this. Let me see here. You know, we could be getting an angle like this view. Does it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 windows? No, that one doesn't have windows. It's obviously one of these structures. It's not that one. Presumably over here. And I can't see that building. I can't see all of that building. So maybe that building does roof down. See, it has a door here and no windows. I can't tell if there's a door. Oh, there's the door. Yeah, right there. There's the door. So the body is right above the door. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's the door in the middle. So what is that thing on the left? There's something else just to the left. That might be a window. No. It must not be this angle. Then, okay, it's probably over here in the field. I think this is the right building. But I don't think we have the right angle on that building. So if I then go 3D view, No, it's not going to be that structure. It's something over here. I'll keep digging around. But that's where Trump was. And again, somewhat challenging to see. That looks right. See right there. 2 little windows here. We saw 2 of something like that, though that looks pretty flat. And you don't really see anything to the right of that. Anyway. One of those. I just wish I could identify which one it is. Is it that little thing? Because you got all these trees over here right under the water tower. Yeah. It could also be a zoomed in section that we're getting. That we're only seeing, you know, a portion of this, right? Like maybe we're only seeing this edge right here. This building seems like it's the right one. It's the furthest one over. Which it was what we see here. Furthest one over. You could see it from the trees, which would be right here, right? Trees here. Yeah, they're at the trees. So they're literally taking the footage from the trees right here, probably. And you could see, you know, some objects. Yeah, a window below him. And then a door, that red door. Which could be this right here. Although, no, again, I'm not seeing all that junk on the right. Yeah, no. The door is alone on the right. It could be this. You know, some shot like that. Door. The person might be in front of a window right here. Door, window. Maybe another window over here. Tough to tell. Nah, no, it looks like the wrong angle. But it's one of these over here. Could have been that. Door. I don't know. Oh, Biden.
Doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination?
Do we have that?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion,
Obvious.
but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President, with the security failing, Mr. President?
Yes. Okay, I think I got it. It's this right here. I just needed to rotate a tiny little bit. It's right here. This aligns. It was this roof, at least from what we can tell. Donald Trump would have been approximately here. So this is where Donald Trump would have been. Again, I'm going to drop that pin right there. The shooter was able to climb onto this roof right here. at, what is this? I think it's like 506 Evans Road or something like that. And here's Evans City Road. So here's Evans City Road. This is the Butler Farm. Trump, again, would have been right about here. And this right here, this edge aligns almost perfectly with what I see right here. It's the end, the right side of the building. You've got the slope. The slope matches up right here. You've got a door and a window with nothing on the right side, which we get when we zoom in right here. You got the door right here. You see that a little more clearly right here. Door right there, nothing on the right side. And then a window below the person. That was the shooter. And they would have been right here. This is where the shooter was. Right here. And again, Trump was right here. There you go. That's crazy. Biden's remarks were really short there. Biden doesn't know if this is an assassination attempt or what. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. This is insane. But I think we've gotten to the bottom of it now. So, oh my gosh. So then we've got Elon Musk just tweeted, the head of the Secret Service and the leader of the security detail should resign. Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, look at this. Like, how do you not cover that roof? That's what blows my mind. I mean, so you probably had, you know, this whole area cordoned off, but how, like, there's a former Secret Service agent who lives in my neighborhood, and he told me, you know, they would go, anytime a president or former president would go somewhere, they would conduct recon days in advance, and they'd have all the rooftops covered, the windows of surrounding buildings along the entire path observed, everything covered. And so the fact that this was not done is somewhat mind-blowing for literally one of the closest buildings to where Trump was speaking did not have its roof covered. Like, if you had even one Secret Service person on the rooftop of these buildings, this would not have happened. Lives would have been saved. Like, what? Mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. Let's go back to the actual shooting. Now that we have an idea of where the shots came from, I want to see the shooting again. And it's also, man, the water tower to the left. The building was really between Trump and the water tower. So if I look here, the building would have been somewhere over here is my guess, to the left over here. Because here's the water tower, here's where Trump was speaking, off to the left over here. So yeah, the person here would have been in the line of fire, is what it is. So Trump would have been speaking here. Presumably you had some stands right here. So if the stands are right here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, because then I can draw on this. Okay. If the stands are here, let's actually get the water tower in that shot too. There we go. And then let's also pin Trump. There we go. So if the stands would have been here, that person would have been in the direct line of fire of Trump. And that's probably what happened here, is you had... you know, as the person was shooting from here, he ended up shooting an audience member in the head here. So the person who was shot in the head was in the bleachers here. And let's go play this again and just see this happen live. It's very distressing, though. I don't like this at all, but again, we're gonna... Hold on one sec. Let me get that situated. There we go. Okay. crazy to me they didn't cover that roof.
Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Insane. Absolutely insane. That this could happen. Also, wild how close that roof is that it wasn't covered. That, I think, makes me even more scared. It's just like, that's just stupid. So I have, I'm going to pull up a drawing now that we can work, so we can work this. I have like a label maker on my desk. I wasn't planning on going live. And a mess over here. But it's a terrible day. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw this out. So it looks like this pin would have been where Trump was. I'm gonna just do this with my pen here. So this would have been Trump. This would have been shooter. Then you would have had the angle of that video where you get the shooter. Looks like it was just to the right of some trees here. Pretty far back. And the trees could have been moved and that, but that's a good distance back. And maybe some trees over there. Yeah, it looks to me, if I had to guess, the videographer would have been here. So I'm comparing to this shot right here, right? So you got a direct shot, a direct angle onto the building from this video angle here. And so if I go here, a direct angle onto the building would be roughly here. So I'm going to go with the videographer had a, we'll call it the phone video. Phone video. So this was the phone video angle that we see pointing that way. I'm going to make that a little skinnier. All right. No, that's confusing. I'll just leave it like that. So that's the angle we see. Here's Trump. And then comparing to the stands, Trump is here. Water tower's up here. So Trump's angle to the water tower is roughly in line with the water tower. So I'm going to say this was probably the stage. And I'll show you that in a second. And then this was probably the stands. Victim. I'll show that here. Probably right about... Let's see if I go with... I'll put victim. We'll call this stands. Alright? And then I'm going to say the victim was roughly here. And I'm using that based on where we had blood in the stands. This is graphic. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, again, very graphic. Sorry. But this is the shot of where the blood is in the stands. Looks like you're, 2 or 3 seats in. So I'm gonna move that to the left just a little bit, and then maybe 4 or 5 bleachers down. Victim. So now I can see the path of the shooter. I'm gonna go with a line here, and we'll do. Let's go with this. Oh, that's too thick. There we go. This is probably a rough approximation here. I mean, the stand could have been a little bit more to the right, right? I'm going to actually move that stand just a little bit, because I think that victim was perfectly in that line there. So I'm going to draw the victim roughly here, and then you've got this would be a better representation of the stands, right? There you go. That's phone video we have on the left, and then most of the press looked like they were in the press stands, probably right about. Well, they had to have had a straight on shot too. Let's see here. Yeah, they did. So the press stands were probably here, I'm guessing, press 1, and then you had another angle probably here, press 2. I think this is a rough setup of what happened, and again, the fact that this was not covered by the Secret Service is absolutely insane. Let's go play here for a moment.
And recognize that this is a line that's been crossed here that is just horrific and unforgivable, and we need to have cooler minds prevail.
Yeah, well said. Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate David McCormick, who had a front row seat over there. He was an eyewitness. Appreciate your joining us very, very much, and glad you're okay right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Anderson, back to you.
Wolf, I want to go next to former Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow, also CNN national security analyst Juliet Kayyem. Juliet and Jonathan, before I talk to you both, I just want to replay what happened, and just for our viewers who are just joining us, but also because I want to talk over some of the details, particularly with you, Jonathan, of what we see the Secret Service do in terms of covering the former president, not immediately evacuating him until, and also just remind viewers that the audio that they're going to hear is largely Secret Service agents talking among each other while they're covering the former president. And you hear some words from the former president about his shoes, and then saying wait, and then doing the fist in the air. So let's play that.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stair. Stair, get ready. Stair, get ready. You ready? Down. Shooters down. Are we good? Shooters down. Shooters down. Are we good to move? Shooters down. We're good to move. We're clear. We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Let me get my shoes. Got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
If anybody wants to share my little drawing, I just posted it on X. I get like, I just think this is useful. So if anybody wants to share this sort of detail, again, I posted it on X at RealMeatKevin, and I don't know if you want to retweet it or whatever, if you agree with it, obviously, or add your comments to it or whatever. But I wrote here, V is the headshot victim. T is obviously the Trump position. Phone video we've seen here of the shooter's body seems to roughly align with that angle right here. And I think it's worth us putting the address, Evans City Road, Butler, PA. Yeah, so roughly 506, 506 Evans City Road, Butler, PA. For building location. And I guess I suppose I could also just link below it the actual aerial view that I have of it there. So that way y'all can see that or interact with it or add comments if you want. Okay, there we go. So, okay, let's go back over here. Yeah, again, if you want to retweet that, thank you. It helps out. Really appreciate y'all watching here, by the way, as we try to break this all down live. Thank you to all those of you who support the channel and subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, we're knocking on the door of 2 million subs, so would appreciate your support in a subscribe. And then, of course, always check out my offerings over at meetkevin.com. I don't want to turn this into really a pitch or anything, so we're not going to. I just mention a thank you to everybody. Okay, let's go over here.
Actual gunfire, but it's a perceived threat, and they're going to action off of that. They're going to go to the protectee, as we saw. The president was already moving down, which was probably an instruction given to him a long time ago, even as president, to get down in the moment of any type of threat. But the Secret Service agents quickly came in. They put themselves between the former president and any type of potential threat, again, basically creating a body bunker around the former president. While they're down on the ground, they're doing a rapid assessment. There's a lot of information coming into their earpieces about what's going on around the perimeter. Was it a shooter? What the situation is. We heard the verbal commands. Again, you have to think they weren't screaming and yelling at each other. They were very composed. Their instructions to each other were very clear. Again, that all comes down to their training, tactics, and experience. The president was not moved until they confirmed that the shooter was down, and you actually heard an agent say, safe to move. Most likely that was the detail leader for the former president, giving the instruction that it's safe to move. The Hawkeye team, as you hear, Hawkeye's up, Hawkeye is around. Hawkeye is the tactical team. That is the counter-assault team. Again, they're there to support the shift, address any secondary threats that may present itself, and make sure that the president's movement from one terrain feature, the podium, to the armored limousine is done in a safe and efficient manner. So they'll move along with them. So once all those components were in place, that's when we see the president moving off stage. What we don't see, though, is exactly how the Secret Service responded to the threat, the shooter, and how they neutralized that. So what we assume at this point in time, since it was a threat from outside of the security perimeter, that this was a long-range threat, probably a long-range rifle, that needed to be addressed again from another long-range mitigation, most likely from either the counter-sniper team or from other types of tactical units that were on site from the Secret Service. So there's a lot going on in a short amount of time. But again, I can't stress enough, this is what the Secret Service does. When the bell rings, they are prepared to react this way.
Yeah, they should also prevent the bell from ringing.
The president off of the X, off of this environment, to a safe location. Then the secondary assessment starts around medical concerns, making sure that the president doesn't have any secondary injuries. They then move the president to a safe location away from this site, most likely a hospital, where a full medical evaluation would be underway, ensuring that the safety of the former president, that he is in good health.
Jonathan, are you surprised? They're not rushing him off the stage. I mean, the former president tells them wait in order for him to address the crowd. they listened to that on 2 occasions, it seems. Is that unusual?
Well, I'll say, like, that's what we heard. Like, that's not.
Thank you to all those of you who've been retweeting that tweet. Really appreciate it over at Real Meat Kevin on X.
Identifying injury. The Secret Service has its protocols. They are going to move the president, the former president, from the stage to a secondary location only when it is safe. The worst thing that they could do is move from one terrain feature into another terrain feature that is destabilizing. Like, right, they do not want to move the former president off the stage to the limousine where there could potentially be a secondary attack. That's why these tactical assets were also very important. Again, being able to immediately address a secondary.
Wow, there's some talk that despite this assassination attempt, Donald Trump is expected to be in attendance at tonight's UFC event in Denver. So he's got to go from Pennsylvania to Denver after being shot and keep going. Wow.
Of all of that practice in overtime.
Jonathan, also, I mean, obviously the Secret Service has snipers in events like this. I assume they have the highest vantage points at any place that they are. How would it be possible for somebody to have gained, even if it's off the, not in the actual, close enough to go through the metal detectors, but just off site to gain a sniper position?
I don't want to speculate how the shooter got to that location. That will come out throughout the investigation. But again, when you think about the concentric circles of protection that the Secret Service protective methodology applies, what we're seeing on the video is the working shift. Those are the closest ones that are around. The next layer out are those tactical elements. It's that the counter snipers, the counter assault teams that are there to address the near horizon and long range threats that may present to one of the protectees. So what we do know is that the time to exposure, the moment that threat was identified, again after probably that first shot, there was almost immediate engagement of that threat, and that threat was neutralized within seconds from the audio that we heard and then from CNN's own reporting.
And Juliet, obviously from an investigation standpoint, national security standpoint, a lot obviously now goes to who was this individual who did it? Were there more individuals involved? Motivation, method, everything?
Yeah. So there's going to be, so I want to be very clear, there'll be 2 pieces of this. So first is who the individual is and whether he was part of a larger group. And I know there's a lot of politics involved with this. So I'm going to just relate how an investigator would look at this. So there would be, is he a lone individual or was he planning with others? And then they're going to look at his emails, any contacts he had. Look, this is not a random, this is not someone who woke up and thought, I want to shoot at Donald Trump. What the pictures we have seen has shown a person who knew where the security perimeter ended and where he would have a good shot of President Trump. That is a serious, I'm going to call it assassin. That is a serious assassin. That is someone who knew exactly what he wanted to do. And however Donald Trump got the blood marks, whatever the reporting is, something came very close to seriously harming Donald Trump, the former president and the nominee for the Republican Party. So that's the first part. The second part is, of course, motive.
Whoa, I think I have the counter sniper shots. Look at this. This is crazy. This is right behind Trump on the rooftop here. Oh, thank you so much. Lauren just brought, shout out to Lauren. We're 2 hours live now, and Lauren just brought me some pizza. Thank you. This looks like the counter sniper position right here. Let's take a listen to this.
Took over, and look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people.
Oh, come on. No.
And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, you knucklehead. Yeah, 2 snipers up there. Two snipers right here. Both of them looking that way at this point. I don't know if both of them were looking that way beforehand. Yeah, it looks like both of them are looking that way. So maybe they were aware that the threat was happening.
Look what happened to our country.
That's intense. Wow. Now let's see if we can hear. I think you can hear a different shot when this happens. Yeah, here you could see the two tactical units on this roof. Let's see if we can hear. I don't think we'll be able to see, but let's see if we can hear the shot.
20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Well, look at that. You can actually see the snipers move back there for a second. It's almost like they're kind of caught off guard by the shooting. Watch this really closely. You could see both of them jump back a little.
That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something
Now.
that's said, take a look at what happened.
They were caught off guard by that. Do you see that? Both of them, they sort of twitch and duck down. They were not ready for that shot at all.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
There. That sounded like the counter shot. You hear the light caliber pop, 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 and then you hear a heavier caliber ba-boom. Let's try again. I don't think it's recoil. Maybe they were shooting, but you don't hear the shooting back. Let's listen. Let's listen to the sound, because you hear a different caliber shot back. And some people are like, no, it's not recoil, it's on a stand. I don't think that's recoil. I think they were shocked. And then listen to the sound. The sound tells you here.
Country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
There. You hear it? I'll play it again really closely, okay? You hear the different caliber shoot back. Those are the that's the shooter shot. The Secret Service people are already like, oh my God, what the hell happened? Right? Now you're gonna hear, listen very closely. Pop, 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 bang. Like you hear the louder, the tinny, lower caliber, pop, pop, pop. And it almost sounds like you get a burst fire response. But it's a heavier caliber, like a 45 plus, 45 to 50. Boom, boom, boom. Listen very closely. In the next 5 seconds here, I'm going to turn the volume up a little. So if your volume's low, I don't want to blast you here with this. Did you hear it? That was the counterfire. That was the counter strike right there. I think we found it. Listen to the whole sequence again together, and you're gonna hear the tinny pop, 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 da-dum. That's the counterfire.
Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Could have been two shots at a time. You're right. It could have been both snipers shooting at the same time. That's a good comment. Let's see it or hear it.
The president right away.
No.
What happened?
Could have also been an echo from the one shot. You're right. That's true. You could have had the shot from the sniper and then an echo from it. That is true. Jeez. Oh. Okay. All right. We're gonna do a full summary here. I'm gonna go through everything that we have. We're gonna look at that BBC interview again. We're gonna go through absolutely everything. The snipers, the shot, the Trump, talking about his shoes, which we can't figure out if it's a code word or if it's he's legitimately concerned about his shoes. We're gonna go through the entire timeline. Again, thank you to those. Oh, it does look like we just got a Truth Social post as well. Thank you again to those of you retweeting either the stream or subscribing or whatever. Appreciate y'all. And let's see here. Let's go. What is this here? Bullets fired appeared to have missed, and that the... Oh, interesting. So... The Trump did a sudden head movement that rotated his head clockwise. No, it looks like there's some talk potentially that the injury could have been either a graze or broken glass from the teleprompter when the shooter missed. But that's also unclear right now as far as what that was. But let's go do a full recap of all of this, and we'll lay the groundwork as well a little bit here with just some of the other things that we've seen, like for example Tucker Carlson on this. Just give me a moment to get it ready, and then we'll do a full summary.
Bubbling up into violence is something that has been happening over the years. And it's not just going back to the 80s or even to the 60s.
Yeah, it's true. And President Biden said it well. He said political violence is not appropriate. Everyone must condemn it. And he once again said he hopes to speak with former President Trump very, very soon and get a sense. Caitlin Collins is joining us right now. I understand, Caitlin, you have some new reporting. What are you learning?
Yeah, Wolf, the former president has actually just issued a statement moments ago on Truth Social. I'm going to read you just the full quote of it because we're just getting it in moments ago. He says, "I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured."
No, okay, never mind on the teleprompters, because, yeah, I agree with you. The teleprompters weren't shot. I don't see that. It does look like there is a post out from Trump suggesting that his right ear, "I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening." This is... Truth Social isn't loading really well right now. I think just a lot of people are probably on it. Oops. There we go. "I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response to the shooting. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person who was killed at the rally and the other person who was injured. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening." Woo! Yikes. Okay, so this is insane. There's a lot to cover here. So I'm going to do my best to go through the full coverage of this in a summary format. So that way, if you're just now joining, you have all of the research put together. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, give me a moment. Okay. All right. This is a sad day in American history. At no point should a politician be shot in America. Today, Donald Trump was shot in the upper part of his right ear, narrowly missing his head. This is an assassination attempt against Donald Trump. In this video, I'm going to break down a full reconstruction of everything using the information that we have available at this time. Note, this is a very developing situation, so there could be more updates that come out. I have also posted a map on X of what I believe to be, which we'll explain in this video, the trajectory of the shooting, where the president was standing, where the victims were, and more information that is coming through as we're covering this. Let's though start with the actual event and the shooting. Here it is. Now, there are going to be a few things to pay attention to. First, I want you to pay attention to the lighter, tinny popping. We believe that is a lower caliber rifle that was used by a shooter on a rooftop of right behind the security perimeter of the event. Again, when you look at realmeatkevin.com at this sort of map that I drew here, we know a shooter, or believe a shooter, climbed to the top of this rooftop, was not immediately visible from the Secret Service, which was positioned on top of this rooftop. We had counter snipers on this rooftop. We had people yelling at police over here that somebody with a rifle was climbing to the top of this building. And the Secret Service may not have been able to see the shooter until it was too late. But in the shooting that you're about to see, you're going to hear a lighter tinny pop, 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 followed by what sounds like a higher caliber bang with maybe an echo. We believe that was the counter shot from the Secret Service sniper team that then took out the shooter at the top of the building. I want to be clear, this is a disgusting failure on the part of the Secret Service. That one of the closest buildings to where the president was standing was not covered in this event. And even if Donald Trump, frankly, had protective glass in front of him, like he did during the January 6th speech he gave, he had protective glass in front of him, this shot came from a side angle. It's unclear that that this sort of glass would have protected him. Let's go ahead and play it. Here we go. Oh, why can't it spacebar? Oh my God.
Chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move to the spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Down. Shooter down.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
Shooter's down. We're good to move.
We're clear.
We're clear.
Let's move.
We're clear. Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. My shoes down. Get the shoes.
Watch out.
This is where Trump appears to be chanting, fight, 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 and the rally erupts into a crowd right here. A few things to note in that clip there. When they say Hawkeye is here, they're referring to the tactical detail responding. You can actually hear shooter down, clear. This is when they say, okay, let's move. Donald Trump stands up. He says, let me get my shoes. We're not entirely clear if that's some kind of code word or if he was legitimately concerned about his shoes, but he did ask for his shoes. And this is a very obviously dramatic video here. You got a lot of people over here with their, showing middle fingers to the press stand and the camera. very angrily screaming F you and flipping off either the cameras or as a way of saying to the shooter, F you. Donald Trump gets into his vehicle. We don't actually get an angle in this particular video, which is fine. We'll put it together. I've got another angle of it. But I want to also just go back for a moment. Listen again very close. Oh, yeah, here's the shot of him walking to his vehicle. We'll go back for a moment so you can listen to the shots where you hear the counter shots from the sniper team. I'll show you where the sniper team was positioned so you can see this a little bit more clearly. And we have a video of that sniper team reacting to the shot. Okay, we're going to flip over to that video now. Here is that video of the sniper team positioned on the building right behind Donald Trump. You can actually see that two of the counter-sniper units are positioned in the direction of where we think the shooting came from. Now, we have an understanding based on a BBC interview of and some phone video of where the shooter was, that they may have been pre-alerted that the shooter or that somebody was prepared to shoot at Donald Trump. And take a look at this video. Now, it's not the best because unfortunately, the person with the camera rotates away. There's also an image now coming through that potentially Donald Trump was also shot in the chest and that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. Now, this is news just as I'm putting a summary together here that's coming through. Take a look at this. This image here says, Trump just started wearing a bulletproof vest as advised by his security detail. It saved his life. He took a shot to the chest. Now, it's unclear if this is real, if this was edited in, or what this is. But it is possible that Donald Trump was shot multiple times and that a bulletproof vest protected his life. In this image here, you're going to see what appears to be the Secret Service bobbing back. I do not believe, although I could be wrong, I do not believe that the Secret Service is bobbing back because they're taking a shot. I believe they're actually stunned and surprised that there's actually a shooting taking place, reiterating this lack of preparedness and the failure by the Secret Service here. The reason I believe this isn't a counter shot is because when you listen closely at the shots, the second set of shots are immediately followed by what appears to be a higher caliber rifle responding to the threat and taking out the threat. Let's listen to this video here.
Took over, and look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
This is just, sorry, this was not the angle that shows the Secret Service jolting. You're actually going to see that in this angle, but that was just another image to see, or another viewpoint. This is the angle where you'll see the Secret Service sort of jolt back a bit. Right here is where you want to pay attention to. Now, keep an eye on this water tower. I'm going to go back to the map in a moment, but you got the water tower here. The shots are coming from back here, past these trees, across this stand right here. You're going to see on social media that an individual was dragged out of the stands. We don't believe that was the shooter. This person was actually shot in the head, and you're going to hear from an ER doctor in a moment who responded to this victim right here in the stands. So the shot appears to have gone across this direction, shoots Trump in the ear, potentially also in a bulletproof vest. And again, here, you can see the counter snipers, and you see them jolt back, in my opinion, out of shock that shooting is happening. And then listen closely. You'll have to replay it a few times, I think. Listen closely, not to the first pop, 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 but the second pop, 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 boom. That's where the counter shot took place, in my opinion. Listen in. You can play it back to hear it again closely.
Oops. Something that said, take a look at what happened.
Ba-bum. There it is. I'll play it back one more time.
Months
so
old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
So again, I believe you had 3 shots fired from the shooter. The Secret Service sort of jolts like, oh my gosh, like we're getting shot at. Then they hone in and you hear 3 more shots, pop, 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 and then you hear the ba-boom, which is probably shot from like a 50 cal Barrett, or whatever, sniper rifle, and then an echo from that shot. It's my belief, again, the things that I could be saying, that I'm saying could be wrong. I'm obviously not in the Secret Service. I'm just trying to do my best to piece this together. Now, an important thing to piece together out of all of this also is that view that you get of that individual person on the rooftop that was deemed to be the shooter. So that shot is pretty impactful. This, by the way, I'm going to put on screen, is a photo of the aftermath of that shooter being cuffed. You could see him being handcuffed right here. So you've got 3, looks like 2 officers and 2, National Guardsmen or whatever from the security detail here on the roof with that individual. And the actual footage that somebody zooms in on, very, very useful, is right here. Now, what I want you to pay attention to here is a door right here, and then a window on the left right here. So door, window. The person who is shot, who appears to be the shooter, is on this side. Presumably, the Secret Service could only see this side of the roof here and couldn't see him crawling up. But again, the fact that a building this close didn't have a counter sniper here is mind-blowing, or like some staff covering this rooftop. Insane. But anyway, watch this, and you could hear...
right side broad.
Sorry, you could hear the person describe what they're seeing. I just need to pause this other vid. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there.
Let's go back to the truck. He might be a little...
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Lá em cima.
Okay, you saw the window, you saw the door, you hear the person saying, I think they hit him. In a BBC interview, we actually hear somebody saying that his head was blown off. I want you to see this map right here. This is what I posted on X. So this is approximately 506 Evans City Road in Butler, Pennsylvania. We believe Donald Trump's positioning was right about here, where I've placed this pin. Now, this is important. Watch me zoom in on this building right here. See the door? See the window? It's the sloped building at the end of the row of buildings, which aligns with the video we just saw. There were no buildings to the right. There were no windows on the right. You had a window, a door, and the shooter's body appeared to be right here, where my mouse is. The cell phone footage appeared to have been taken from the left side of this tree right here, since you saw a tree to the right of them. All right, look at this. Tree to the right of them, no buildings on the right, door, no objects on the side of this building, and then a window right here under where they zoom in. There it is, the window. So we believe we have the correct trajectory here. Now, why is this important? Because when you actually look at this, this is the setup. Press box 1, straight shot on Donald Trump. Press box 2, wide shot. That's the shot I showed you where you could see the Secret Service agents here, where you could see where the victim is, the stands on the left. That would be, if I go back on the right side broadcasting, that would be right here. This is where Donald Trump is. There are the Secret Service folks. Here is where the victim was, to the left of that sign. Okay, there's the water tower. Why is that water tower important? Watch. The water tower, right here. Trump speaking here. Press box here. You could see the water tower. You could see the water tower. Press box 2 has a view of the water tower. There's the water tower. So again, Trump, shooter. Insane that the Secret Service wasn't covering that angle. Now, again, going to, we've got a few interviews to cover, but going back to my map quickly, look at that exact trajectory. Well, I mean, my estimated version. Here's where the phone video was. The phone video, honestly, I think was back here because you do see some more trees in front to the left of them. So I think they had a tree over here to their right. They're kind of under the shade. It was a hot day. So you had the phone video zoomed in directly onto that wall. Press box 1, press box 2. Press box 2 sees the water tower above here. Trump's here. Here's the shooter's trajectory. Here's where the victims hit in the head. And this is a very, very sad 47 seconds here. But this person's a hero right here. This man gave mouth-to-mouth CPR to a person with a hole in their head. This person is a hero. True American hero. I want you to listen to this.
Honor, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there.
Oh,
and
no.
so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
We need to evacuate everybody.
Honor, that's exactly where.
So you just heard an ER doctor here say he administered CPR and gave oral breaths to the victim in the stands. I want to be clear, that is the victim that was killed. There was one person in the stands that was sort of dragged out by his boots. I want to be clear, that is not what appears to be the shooter. Okay, so this video, you're going to see it on social media. This is not expected to be the shooter. This is the person who was shot in the head, and you don't really see anything here. There's not much anything graphic. You just see sort of his arm, and he's getting carried to medical attention to a medical tent behind. I don't actually know if you could see that ER doctor who was just talking. It doesn't look like you can really see him in the shot there. But you're going to see that on social media suggesting that maybe that was the shooter. We do not believe that was the shooter. There are some allegations. These are unconfirmed that this person, I'm not going to speculate on who the shooter is yet. I'm going to instead play this video clip. And Lauren brought me some pizza, so I'm taking a snack of it because I've been streaming for almost 3 hours now. Listen to this, and this is a pretty wild interview. The Secret Service did also just release a statement. The suspected shooter fired multiple shots at a Trump rally. Person was neutralized. Personnel neutralized the shooter. Suspected shooter fired from a position outside the rally venue. One spectator was killed, being shot in the head. 2 were critically injured. A suspect shooter is deceased. Trump is safe, evaluated and transported to a local medical facility. New York police and police around the country are increasing security for Trump's statement, Trump's family and himself everywhere he's going. Trump did also post on Truth Social that he had been shot. Nothing is known at the time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I had heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place. Keep in mind also that when Donald Trump stands up, which could accelerate this idea that Trump was potentially shot in a bulletproof vest as well. When Donald Trump stands up, it looks like his shirt is more unbuttoned. And he did go up with an unbuttoned shirt because it was a hot rally. But when he stands up, it looks like some more buttons of his shirt are unbuttoned. Maybe they went to check to see if there was any piercing. See, look at that. It looks like at least maybe one more button there was unbuttoned to maybe potentially check. Who knows? Again, it's not clear that he was also shot in a bulletproof vest or whatever. That's unclear. It's speculation at this point. Okay, so, but what I wanted to show was this BBC interview, and this reporter is not the best, but, maybe he's shocked or something, but let's listen in.
Someone who was here, you weren't inside the event, nope, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here, I have no idea, you know, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, you know.
Just a quick note. If somebody's yelling at cops, going, there's a man with a rifle climbing on a building, the reaction from the officer should not be, huh? It should be like, dispatch reports of man with rifle climbing to building, get Trump off stage. Which should then immediately be rallied. I don't think the police are on the same radio channel as the Secret Service, but they should be. Usually what happened at these details, when I was a law enforcement explorer for 3 years, usually we would go to a secondary or tertiary channel, so that way we were all on the same channel. So the officer should be able to move to, let's say channel A is the main channel, everybody's on the main channel, that's for emergency radio dispatch for all the stuff going on in the city, right? You should be able to go to like channel C, and that would usually be like an event channel. So don't go to channel C unless you have something about the event. That way you're on the same comms. Local law enforcement is on the same comms as the Secret Service. So frankly, an officer hopping on reports of man with rifle climbing to roof, to the, northwest of Trump, should have immediately gone over the radio, which the snipers should have heard that. And I assume they did because both of them were facing in that direction, but it's possible they didn't see anything. But nonetheless, just that report alone should have been enough to get Trump off the stage and assess the situation. Somebody's yelling gun at an event with a former president running for a presidency now. Take him off the stage. Check the roof. Okay, I don't think at every rally there's some knucklehead going, there's someone with a gun. Like, I think you should take that as a credible threat. And you should remove the president from any danger until it can be clear. Now, some folks in the comments are saying, oh, call 911 or whatever. This individual was yelling at a police officer, which is way faster than calling 911. Remember, when you call 911, it goes usually to a statewide dispatch center. The statewide dispatch center then has to relay the message to the local authorities who can then hop on the radio. Whereas if you're yelling at a cop going, there's a man with a gun right there, all the cop has to do is go, report of man with gun northwest of Trump. Everybody on the channel should hear that, get Trump into safety. That didn't happen here. That is a ridiculous failure. But that's just one of the failures. The fact that somebody was able to even get onto a rooftop with a rifle. I don't even want to get started on that, but that's just ridiculous. Absolutely ludicrous. Embarrassing failure by the Secret Service.
2 or 3 minutes, Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see?
Honestly, this guy deserves more street cred than the stuff like the Haktua girl. Like, I understand virality on the internet isn't always fair. Hell yeah for what this guy's saying.
I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Were you outside the security perimeter?
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Trump flag on the horse?
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
All right, we're gonna pull off this here. So as you can see, this was an interview, pretty damning interview of the security failure that occurred. You get a little bit of a side view angle here. They finally rotate the camera to the right. I do want to point out that when they rotate this camera to the right, I believe that's the building across this yellow road. Though I'm not certain about that. If he's pointing at this, it's a little hard to pinpoint exactly where these things are. Something else that just came through, there's a photo showing a potential bullet flying past Donald Trump. This could have been the bullet that grazed Donald Trump right here. How insane is that? I don't know. Sometimes stuff like this can get edited in. I mean, all the JPEG compression, looks relatively consistent with what you would expect, the ISO kind of graininess here. I don't know if that's edited in. I don't know if that's baloney or what, but whatever. So this, by the way, this is it's graphic, but here's blood from likely where the victim was shot in the head, which is where the ER doctor went in to provide emergency resuscitation and CPR and mouth-to-mouth. Something else to pay attention to is this is something that has been predicted by some folks, and people have, made fun of, for example, Tucker Carlson for predicting this. But listen to this for a moment.
What do you think the future holds? Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work. What's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that. But I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean?
There it is. We're speeding towards assassination, says Tucker Carlson, and this is exactly the attempt that we just saw. Another thing that is disturbing, I understand, you know, the speech writing of this probably has no real reference to actually shooting somebody, but it's worth noting the following. Politico, 5 days ago, had an exclusive piece about what Biden told donors. And this is very inconvenient timing for Biden, but some folks are looking at this arguing this is an unacceptable signal. Quote, "I have one job, and that's to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye." That was then described as a forceful message from Biden, as covered by Politico. Now, a little bit of a foot and mouth. Doesn't look very good at all. We also want to make it clear that there are a lot of different sort of maps or simulations or whatever going on, you know, circulating about what may have happened in terms of where the shooter was or the shooter's positioning or whatever. For example, you know, here's another account that posted where they think the shooter is. Again, I replied to this and said wrong roof. You know, I think my image is much more accurate. They weren't on a white roof. They were on an angled slope of the roof. We have pretty clear phone video of where that shooter lay. So it does. I'm not trying to say that my image is perfect. I'm sure there's some errors here as well. But if you wanted to share this, just follow me at RealMeatKevin on X, and you could retweet this. You're also welcome. Just take a screenshot of it if you want. Go draw your own. I don't really care. I just want people to have the most information possible. But this is a very sad day in American history. I want to talk a little bit about what I think the impacts of this are going to be. I think this helps the Donald Trump campaign. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive to the idea that Donald Trump was just nearly killed. I'm not trying to, you know, look at this about, you know, think about donations or votes or whatever. But let's be clear. When there's an attempted assassination on your candidate that you are supporting, you become more supportive of that candidate. I suspect that people who maybe weren't going to get out on election night because they thought their vote didn't matter, I think now are going to want even more so to be a part of history and vote for their candidate that almost got assassinated. I think there are also people who might not have voted at all that decide, you know what, I'm going to go vote. I also think that donations are going to rapidly increase for the Trump campaign. And you actually see predicted sort of data here suggesting Donald Trump has increased about 7 percentage points after the shooting in odds of winning the election, with Kamala and Biden going down. There are also some rumors that maybe teleprompter glass scratched Donald Trump and led to some bleeding. I don't think that's true. Based on the video here, where Donald Trump cheers fist up, I could clearly see the teleprompter on the left and right in pretty clearly put together condition. Obviously, Donald Trump was just released from the hospital. Just got that update just moments ago. There are also very dramatic photos that are now circulating of Donald Trump being led off of the stage. Here's one that was shared by Tucker Carlson. There has been an outpouring of reaction and support across the community. Elon Musk officially endorsed Donald Trump for president. Elon Musk has reportedly also donated to Donald Trump's super PAC after stating that he would not donate to any presidential candidate. It looks like he has changed his mind, which I think you have the right to change your mind. If anybody knows, I change my mind sometimes. Those of you in my course member group, you can learn more about that at meetkevin.com. You know that we cover my opinions on the market every single day. Live at the Real Meet Kevin, the Market Live channel. You could watch me live every day. The market is open at 5:25 a.m. California time. I cover the market news every morning there for free. And right after that, we go into the course member live stream where we answer course member questions and deal with other fundamental analysis and otherwise. You're welcome to join us there. Go to meetkevin.com to learn more for that. It does look like Donald Trump released from hospital after the shooting. Looks like we have some footage of his motorcade leaving the hospital And he is expected to speak in Denver tonight at a UFC event. So it looks like he's going to be getting right back to work after being shot. This is footage here of Trump's motorcade leaving with a lot more police presence this time. Oh, that could be just the angles of the lighting that I'm seeing. That might be the similar motorcade he usually has. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Disgusting for someone with opinions that don't align with Trump to go as far as trying to take his life. Obviously, the shooter now being dead. But this is a very clear assault on democracy. It's sad. It's a bad day. Donald Trump was grazed. Reports that maybe a bulletproof vest stopped an additional bullet to his chest. One attendee is dead in the bleachers, who was apparently shot in the head. We saw the footage of an ER doctor trying to provide medical response to save the individual. 1 to 2 other individuals apparently in critical condition who were attendees at the event. There were metal detectors at the event, but this shooter appeared to have responded from outside of the event. It looks like Donald Trump is now heading to the airport, likely to get to the Denver event. I expect there will be some form of statement from Trump at the Denver event. We already saw his Truth Social post. The Biden campaign is also pausing attack ads against Donald Trump out of respect for the fact that he was just shot, which is understandable. And wow, this is a shocking and historic day of you know what we're seeing here. Now I have another graphic that I want to show that is pretty decent. I like this one. You know, mine's kind of chicken scratchy. You know, I threw it up on an iPad while being live. This is another version. It's from a slightly different angle. The example I gave showed the buildings on the left, so you have to sort of rotate your mind about 90 degrees here. This is the wrong building, by the way. This is the incorrect picture. So I know this picture I expect to be wrong. This being this building. Yes, this could be this building. That's fair. But the shooter, I agree, the shooter was in this position. About 125-ish meters is the expectation to Trump's approximate location, and then where the Secret Service snipers were. That roughly aligns, I think I'm in agreement with this, roughly aligns with what we drew with my chicken scratch, which again, you could retweet here if you'd like. This was the phone video we saw showing the building here. I think the image they showed was here, like a street view image, because I was looking at Google Street View of this as well, but the actual shooter's building is blocked by that. Secret Service snipers up here. Trump stands where the victim was, with again that angle of the shot. Very, very dramatic day. It's an assault on American democracy. And I suppose I would be not myself if I didn't mention that if you're ever motivated to get the same life insurance that Lauren and I have, just go to metkevin.com/life. It's a paid partner of the channel. It's affiliate. metkevin.com/life. You can sign up in as little as 5 minutes for life insurance. You can Apple Pay or Android Pay for it. So that does it for the summary of what just happened at the Trump event. Let's pop in over here to listen to a little bit more coverage.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Moving to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. We ready? Down. Are we good? Shooter's down. Shooter's down. Are we good Let's move. We're clear. We're clear.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
Wow. Let's try a different channel here. Let's go to Fox for a moment. So just sort of just replaying this, see some commentary.
Us now, Dave McCormick. He was in the front row. He was at President Trump's rally tonight, sitting there when this shooting started. He's also the Republican Senate candidate going up against incumbent Senator Casey. Dave, wish, of course, we had you on under better circumstances. You had a front row seat, literally, to what happened. Tell us what you saw.
Hey, Sean, how are you? Well, you know, I had met President Trump a little bit earlier when he first arrived. And he had come out on the stage and had actually announced and asked me to come up on the stage. And then he said, no, hold off. I'll have you up here a bit later. And then within a minute or two after that, we heard these shots. And it was almost in slow motion, a series of shots. It seemed like 7 or 8. And the president obviously went down and had the Secret Service covering him. And then, as you said, kind of rose and had the Secret Service as a phalanx around him. And you see him putting out his fist in both defiance and reassurance, and some in the crowd even chanting at that point USA. And then over my shoulder, I realized that someone else had been hit, and unfortunately, someone behind me had been in the stands and had been shot, and it looked like he was very seriously wounded. His people next to him were trying to treat him, but there was a lot of blood, and so you have the entire 15,000 people. Many of them on their knees, down because we didn't know if the shooting was over. We didn't know if there was one shooter or two shooters. And the president, showed real strength and composure and reassurance as the Secret Service moved him out. And eventually the crowd dissipated, but we really didn't know what was going on. It was very chaotic, as you might imagine. But it was clear that somebody, at least one person, maybe more, had been hurt seriously.
To be very clear, as I have listened and watched this 2.5-minute video over and over again, Dave, it was very clear to me there was no ambiguity in terms of what that sound was. Selena Zito, who I know you know very well known in Pennsylvania for her politics, and God bless the people of Pennsylvania. I hear that there was a lot of heroism on the ground. We'll hear these stories in the days to come. But there was no doubt in your mind what you heard was a gunshot. Selena said there was no doubt in her mind.
Yeah, I mean, certainly after the first pop, then there were several pops in succession. It was clear that it was a weapon. It was clear it was a gun. And frankly, I couldn't tell exactly where it was coming from. It certainly seemed like it was coming from his left, but I also thought there was even a possibility of multiple shooters. And it was very unclear, but it was clear it was at least one shooter, and it was a semi-automatic, weapon where you showed one shot after another. And it was clear that it was obviously directed at the president, as evidenced by the fact that the first round just barely hit him. And so it was clear it was an attempt on his life, and it was ultimately one that unfortunately took the lives of others.
Yeah, it's very scary, and not something that is common in Butler, PA, your home state, your home area. Dave McCormick, thank you. We appreciate you being with us, and we'll have you back on, I'm sure, soon. All right, here with more reaction, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. We've been friends a long time, Mr. Speaker. I was the MC the night you became Speaker of the House in 1994, in that historic election. You've been through a lot of tough elections over the years. They're all tough elections. This is a pretty divided country at this time. And I just wanted to get your thoughts, more than anything else, beyond being a speaker, and a great speaker I believe you were. You were the last speaker to balance the budget, not once, but I think it was 2 years in a row, maybe 3. You're a historian. From a
pretty intense
perspective, we have had assassination and assassination attempts before. That's clear.
Okay, I've got to run. I got 7 children. I say goodnight to them. I just want to thank everybody for supporting and following. You can follow me on YouTube, subscribe. I've been streaming there. I also stream on Twitch and X, at Real Meet Kevin on X, Meet Kevin on YouTube, and Meet Kevin on Twitch. This is a crazy, historic day. Very sad. And thank you all for your support, your donations, you know, supporting the channel, joining the courses. We have a mastermind now at meetkevin.com, meetkevin.com/mastermind, for those of you looking for some higher ticket kind of like one-on-one and small group help with your business or whatever it might be. But thank you so much. Really appreciate y'all. I wish you wish the best to all of you, and we'll keep bringing you coverage as things happen. But this is a crazy day. Thank you again, folks. We'll see you. Bye.